I traded this Pokemon coin all the way up to this rare PSA 10 card in just 3 hours.
Did you now, Lee? I wonder how you did that. That's crazy. Wow. It's almost like you're a famous YouTuber. And when these vendors see a camera getting stuck into their face, they're like, whoa, I better give this guy a good deal. Oh, Leonhart. Dude, I gotta tell you, like, Leonhart was totally chill. Nobody was talking ill of him. He didn't get bad comments at all for like a good 9 months. And then right away, in the span of 1 month, 3 kind of situations involving him have occurred. And even this situation, it's really nothing too crazy. So I want to preference that before I get into the whole drama about it. I do think that the hate Leonhart gets can sometimes be quite unwarranted. And I think most of that has to do with his just big platform and popularity. He is quite literally the top 3, top 5 biggest YouTubers in the Pokemon space. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of hate that comes with that, unfortunately. But sometimes the subscriber count isn't even a sure reflection of how much hate you are going to get. For example, look at Real Breaking Nate. He is undoubtedly one of the most popular Pokemon YouTubers on the platform, and he gets himself into no controversies. I'm talking about 99% of people would say that, yeah, dude, I love him. He's a great guy. He's not involved in anything. If the subscriber count doesn't dictate if somebody gets hate or not, maybe the hate is grounded in some sort of truth or some sort of valid criticism. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today when Leonhart posted his video, which was yesterday actually, trading up a Pokemon coin to a Moonbryon SAR from Terrestrial Festival. And there were just a few things in this video that were just so freaking goofy, dude. And the comments in Leonhart's video also echoed that as well. But I'm going to get into that a little bit later. First, let's look at the very first trade that Leonhart did.
So yeah, it's only starting out at what I think it's worth around $1-ish. Want to see if you have anything at all, if you are even interested in trading for the coin.
I think I have something that you might like.
Okay, okay.
I really like these 2 cards.
Okay.
They're not the most expensive, but I'll let you pick one at random.
Tom presented me with 2 mystery offers. One was an English card and the other Japanese. I decided to go for the English. Just the Shaman holographic from the set Ultra Prism. That's essentially around the same value. But the Japanese one. Can I see this other one? Ooh.
I think you like that one.
I think that is definitely good. You had me for a second there.
Everyone likes Eevee, so.
Play that back for me. Did I hear that correctly?
I really like these 2 cards. They're not the most expensive, but I'll let you pick one at random.
But I'll let you pick one at random. Huh. Now, call me a freaking rocket scientist here, but I think Leonhart broke the rules on his very first trade. The vendor obviously gave him a mystery choice between these 2 cards, and whichever one Leonhart picks, he will get. One was worth the same amount of money as the coin, which, in my opinion, I don't even think that's the case. I don't think that coin is worth $1. I don't think you're going to sell that for $1. I think it's more like 25 cents. But putting that off to the side, he gave him a card that's worth $1 and a card that's worth $2. Leonhart picked the one that was $1. And after realizing that he chose the one that is less value, he was like, oh, sure got me there, Paul. Yep, I'm going to pick the other one. Like, what? Am I going crazy? Am I drinking, like, goofy juice? That was the freaking point of the mystery. That was the gamble. I'll give you 2 cards, and whichever one you pick, you are going to trade for. Like, man. I'll be honest, out of all the vendors throughout this whole entire video that Leonhart walks up to, the first guy is undoubtedly the most fair. He gave him the most fairest trade that I've seen. Because all those other vendors, when they see a very popular YouTuber and have a camera literally right in front of their face, they're like, oh my god, I have to leave a good impression. And maybe when people see how much stuff that I gave to Leonhart, it's going to incentivize more people to maybe go on our store or maybe find us on another Collecticon. Do you honestly think that a vendor is not going to juice up the trade when a famous YouTuber recording a video is walking up to them? Of course they are. That is a freaking brain dead move. Hell, even I would do that. I would, if I saw freaking, I don't know, freaking Pokerev coming in with a $1 card, hell yeah, I'm gonna give him a $5 card, yeah. And I feel like a lot of people have a major issue with this. I have nothing against Leonhart getting favorable deals due to his street cred and character, but it would be cool if in the future he did this challenge while simultaneously a random person without his street cred did the same challenge and they compared at the end. I think that would have been an amazing idea because it showcases the obvious bias that people have toward YouTubers and just regular people. Literally, the only reason people are trading up with him is for exposure of their store on his channel. Abso-freaking-lutely, that is a common sense take. A normal person would have left with a 25-cent coin. Abso-freaking-lutely, that's what I'm saying. The coin is not even worth $1, okay? In fact, they would have probably downgraded. He would have probably started with a $1 coin, and then he would have left with a 25-cent coin. Cheated on the first trade. Oh my god, I'm glad I'm not the first one to notice that. It was supposed to be a random mystery type of deal, and he explicitly said that I'll allow you to pick one at random. What do you think that's supposed to mean? You're supposed to pick one at random. This is cool in theory, but the reality is that trades in your favor will almost never happen in such huge jumps, like a $2 card to a $10 Eevee. The only time I've ever had that happen to me was when a kid who goes to my locals offered a full art boss's orders for my Pokeball Slowpoke, just because he really likes Slowpoke, even when the difference was like $2 to $3. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to, tell Leonhart that he is not able to do challenges like this. I'm not going to say that. But in my personal opinion, and it seems that a lot of other people also have this, the trade-up challenges, I'll be honest, feel very, very unfair when a very popular YouTuber like Leonhart does it. I don't think people have an issue when like people with 2,000 or 4,000 subscribers do this challenge because they know the chances of the vendors, juicing up the trades are going to be significantly lower. But even if there is a small YouTuber who is doing this and has somebody filming him, that still incentivizes the vendor to juice up the trades a little bit to make them look a little bit better on camera. That's just the obvious truth. Because in the vendor's eyes, even if they can't recognize the person that is walking up to them, they still see a camera getting stuck right in front of their face. So obviously, they're going to act a little bit more favorably. And my suggestion, what could have solved all this was like that comment said, ask a random person to do the trade-up challenge to see if, vendors are actually favorable to them or not. So you could actually get real results. Hide like a little pen camera right next to their sleeve or something and see how it goes. I feel like that would be a more accurate representation. Hell, even if Leonhart had a hidden camera, I believe that would have been better. I would at least think that he made some sort of attempt to kind of not really take advantage of his popularity. Even though the vendors might recognize him, the fact that there is no camera that they were aware of might decentivize them for trying to juice up the trade. So I feel like even that would be a kind of more accurate representation of this whole idea of a trade-up challenge. Now, the second thing that I had a major issue with Leonhart in this video is, oh my god, the trades that he was suggesting was absolutely atrocious. Like, honestly, it's borderline a joke.
And I just traded for the Shining Fates Elite Trainer box. I want to try to see if we can make some sort of nicer jump. Do you have anything that you think you would trade for this?
What would you want?
There's no way you would do Hidden Fates ETB. I know that's a big jump.
How about at least we have both counter with the Champion's Path ETB?
Done. I'll do that. You think that's a good deal, right?
That's a killer deal.
Is that? I don't know the prices of it.
This is about 75.
Yeah.
This is like 125.
I will do that
Let's
then.
do it.
No way. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Listen, we're gonna do a combo deal.
Okay.
You just swap the path, and I'll swap this.
No.
Yes. Let's do it.
This man did not suggest a Shining Fates ETB for a Hidden Fates ETB. I beg your pardon. Listen, Leonhart's not dumb. I know he knows the difference and the value between a Shining Fates ETB and a Hidden Fates ETB.
There's no way you would do Hidden Fates ETB. I know that's a big jump.
So I just think it's very, very goofy. And in my opinion, I think he's taken advantage of his popularity in this instance and trying to really get his bang for his buck. I just think that's such a very unreasonable request. And if any other person decided to do that, let's say Real Breaking Nate or PokeRev, they would absolutely get shit on as well. Abso-freaking-lutely. Hell, even I would shit on them if they ever decided to do that. But you know why they would never do that? It's because they wouldn't even put themselves in a position like this. I don't think he foresaw the amount of criticism he would get and the amount of dislikes, mind you, for doing a challenge like this. And again, as I stated in the past, people don't like how you are taking advantage of your popularity and fame, sticking a camera in the vendor's face to get the most amount of, bang for your buck. People think that is highly, highly unfair and an inaccurate representation of the normal person in that situation. And on top of that, you have Leonhart's very unreasonable requests.
Pikachu EX. What is Pikachu? That's got like...
That's like 460. Yeah.
You wouldn't do that, would you? I have to ask.
That only amplifies the general public's kind of perception of this being very unfair. And in my opinion, I kind of agree with their criticism. Now, one thing that I will say I'm happy Leonhart didn't do is that he didn't delete his video. I'll give him that. I'm glad he finally listened to the criticism and like my suggestion or maybe other suggestion. I don't even know if he watches my content, but I'm glad he decided not to delete his video because the only thing that achieves is makes you look like a person that cannot handle criticism at all. And instead of actually trying to listen to it, you decide to censor everything and try to forget that it even happened in the first place. So I'm glad he decided not to do that, even though the like to dislike ratio in the comments on this video isn't too pretty. I still think it was a good video overall, okay? I still think so, but overall, in my opinion, I think a lot of the elements in this video are just very goofy and kind of entitled. Now, after Leonhart traded his coin to the Moonbryon, he decided to go to all the past vendors that he had made trades with to show his success, which I don't think is bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I also think it was definitely a missed opportunity to actually give away that card. Maybe he could have given it to a kid or something, because I know damn well Leonhart doesn't really need it. Now, I'm not gonna try to come across as some socialist by any means, saying that people shouldn't be able to actually have the things that they have earned. All I'm saying is that this was definitely a missed opportunity to giving the card away to somebody that would actually really enjoy it. And I think that element is something the Pokemon community is very fond of, and that is just being very charitable to other people and other people that are not as fortunate as you are. Now, you can think that is a very entitled mindset and people shouldn't feel enticed into doing that. I completely agree. I don't think anybody should feel forced into doing that. All I'm saying is that in the context of this situation, I feel it would have been appropriate. Now, again, not saying Leonhart needed to do that. I'm just coming from a YouTuber mindset. It would have softened the sour taste that a lot of people had in this video. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Leonhart, don't hate you, big man, okay? I think you're chill. I just think that this video and a lot of the stuff that you did were just very, very goofy. In my opinion, of course. Leave your opinion down below. I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you later, weebs.
せーのでもそん